Hey everybody, today I'm at Givhans Ferry State Park in Ridgeville, South Carolina. It's one of the 16 state parks in South Carolina built by the CCC way back in the day. So we're gonna go around and see all what it has to offer. So, hope you enjoy. This is the campsite back here. So if you're into camping, this is a perfect place for you. So if you're into the traditional camping, which is primitive camping, they have a place back there that you can go do that if your heart desires to do that. Pretty little right here. Nice. And back here they have the Magnolia Shelter. And I guess it's called that because we have magnolia trees back here. So that's a good name for it. They've got 2 fireplaces back here. That's one of them. And there's the other one. And this is obviously CCC built. If not, it's the right color because they love green. And they have a grill back here that you can use. A water hose. Well, it's a water faucet, not a water hose. Oh, water fountain. I wonder if it works. I don't think it works. Anyway. And they do have a nature trail here. It is the River Bluff Nature Trail, and it's 1.5 miles long. And as delightful as that sounds, I'm not gonna walk that today. There's the sign for it, and this shows how close it is. The Magnolia Shelter is right over there, so the River Bluff Nature Trail's right here. And it has this really cool looking tree right here at the beginning of it. Ooh, and there's something in there too. I think it's a skink. If it's not a skink, it's a snake. It's one or the other. I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, that'll have to remain a mystery. It had eyeballs, put it that way, and it was moving. And that's just a little bit of the trail right there. So anyway, that's as far as I'm gonna go on this. But you know, if you want to come here and walk it, feel free. Looks like it might have a drop off back there or something. I don't know. I might walk to right there and see what it does. Yeah, you just go on down. And then I can see there's a place over there that's got some steps that you would climb. Yeah, so you go down and then you go up. So looks very pretty though. So then I'll just take myself right back up this little hill right here. And the trees are just so beautiful in here. Very nice and green. So this up here is the Overlook Shelter, and as you can see, it also has a grill, and it has many picnic tables underneath it. And obviously the reason it's called the Overlook Shelter is because it overlooks the Edisto River. You can kind of see it from here, somewhat. Oh, see it really good here. So you can just have a moment and let the river flow. And so one of the things that this particular park is known about is the Limestone Bluffs, and it says rare geological formations. Limestone Bluffs are steep cliffs or slopes of exposed limestone along the course of rivers in the coastal plain. By looking into the past, we can begin to understand the forces responsible for creating these features. Throughout Earth's history, the seas have risen and fallen many times. Numerous ice ages have given way to form tropical periods. Approximately 25 to 35 million years ago, a cool, deep ocean covered this region of South Carolina. Millions of microscopic animals thrived in these waters. When they died, their shells and skeletons settled to the ocean floor, forming layers of sediment composed of clay, silt, and calcium minerals. For millions of years, additional layers of sediment accumulated. Pressure and chemical reactions transformed the sediment into limestone. These bluffs were later exposed by centuries of erosion and shaped by rivers and creeks, which left this fine-grained limestone known as Cooper marl. And it says most plants, which are native to South Carolina, grow in acidic soils. The high calcium content of the limestone makes this soil alkaline. Soils on the bluff may be 100 times less acidic than surrounding soils. These alkaline soils are low in organic matter and encourage the growth of rare plants like Carolina scaly stem, black stem spleenwort, and southern shield fern. So that shows all the different kind of things right there. And there's actually 2 parks in South Carolina that has the limestone. It is Givhans Ferry State Park and also Santee State Park. And also, even though it's not a state park, you can go to Old Santee Canal Park in Monk's Corner and also see their limestone bluffs. So, you know, just a little bit of information right there if you like to travel. I like to travel, so I like to share my information. And also over here at the Overlook Shelter, they also have what looks like a fire pit. I think that's been put there since I last came. And then, of course, they also have one of those water fountains over there. It probably doesn't work either, so I'm not really going to try to see if it works. But this is this shelter. And this is another area that has even more picnic tables. So if you're worried about coming here and not having a place to have a picnic, I think they got you covered. And there's also some really great views of the river back here as well. And you can come here during the summertime and they have like people kayaking and tubing out there. And you can also actually canoe or kayak, whichever you prefer, all the way from this park until Colleton State Park. And I think it's like 20-something miles that separates the parks. So that's a opportunity that you can have as well if you would like to do that. It's just so pretty and green over there. So anyway, whenever you leave that beautiful view right there, you can come over here to this fenced-in area. And you'll see a grave down there. And it says, sacred to the memory of Mary E. Ford, daughter of Elijah Elizabeth Ford, who departed this life December 5th, 1818, it looks like, age 3 months and 29 days. Let me see if I can read that. Her debt is paid. The lonely child is gone, no more to suffer in a land forlorn, midst realms of maybe life around God's altar, a beholding Christ in everlasting. Can't really read that, it's too far away from my extreme nearsightedness that I have. But anyway, that's like really sad. I died 3 months and 29 days right before Christmas. So that's a tragic little story right there. And I'll go in more detail at the end of the video whenever I tell the history about the park, of course, and why the grave is here and all that stuff. So anyway, if you look over there, there is a bathroom over there and a playground for the kids. And then when you come over here, you will see Riverfront Hall. And they have like weddings and reunions and all kind of stuff in there. And surprisingly, after all these years, I've never been inside because I've never been to a function here. However, if you do need to get into the office, it's that little room right over there to the left. And they're only open like from 11 to 12 and 4 to 5 every day. Sounds like there's people in there. We got really good views over here. That is so pretty. Down there are some more views of the Edisto. And really nice views of the Riverfront Hall. I guess if I want to see the rest of them, I don't have to walk down there. I wish the thing went all the way down there, but it doesn't. How depressing. Anyway, that was the CCC logo that you see in all the parks that were built by the CCC. So I'll get one more look at that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and walk on down to the river. And they have a little sign here that says thank you for supporting, and it says check off for state parks. Your donations pay for this park project. Please remember to check off again next year. So if you want to do that for your taxes, you can do that. And this says Park to Paddle, Colleton and Givhans Ferry State Parks. So this shows the path right here that you can take. I don't think I'd ever make it. So anyway, this takes you down to the Edisto River. Got a nice little sandy beach down here. And you got your canoe launch. Or kayak, whichever you have with you. And there you go. That's the beautiful Edisto. Okay, so I'm gonna hop in for a second. I did not walk all the way down that hill, just not to get myself in the video at the river. Not that it's funny, but you know, everybody else is in the car. So I said, well, I guess I'll just do this video on my own. But it's such a beautiful place. And I have to be honest with you, Givhans Ferry has never been on top of my list to visit at all. Because to me, there's not much I can do here. But I have been staying in a cabin for the last few days. So that video is going to be coming out as well. And I think it's really changed my whole opinion of the park. Because the cabins are like really nice. They were built by the CCC. And if you had a view like this from the cabins, it'd be wonderful. However, they got a lot of growth down there in front of the cabins and stuff. But that video is going to be coming out as well, so you can watch that video if you want to see the cabin part of living at Givhans Ferry. And I really don't know if it's Givhans Ferry like I pronounce it, or if it's Givhans Ferry or Givhans Ferry. I guess different people pronounce it different ways. But anyway, that's how I pronounce it because that's how it looks to me. But it's just a beautiful place. And I would really, really, really wish that I knew how to kayak and canoe, but I don't. So this is as close to the water as I can get. And it's right there. So oh yeah, and just in case you need to go to the bathroom while you're down here at the river, because I'm still at the river at this point in time, you can see they got the modern day outhouses over there, up on the little hill over there. So here's the Visitor Information Center, and it says, welcome by land or by water. Givhans Ferry State Park has been a favorite destination since the Civilian Conservation Corps built it among the Limestone Bluffs along the Edisto River in the 1930s. The Edisto is the longest flowing, or free-flowing, blackwater river on the continent, and Givhans Ferry State Park is on the 56-mile stretch known as the Edisto River Canoe and Kayak Trail. It is at the end of a popular 21-mile paddle from Colleton State Park upstream. Overland travelers used a ferry at the site to go and from Charleston and the inland in the area's early days, while the 988-acre park with its cabins, camping, fishing, scenic beauty, and diverse wildlife attracts local residents and visitors. The park's riverbanks are protected as a heritage trust site. So You got your top 5 things to do. Go for a swim or relax and enjoy the serenity of the Edisto River, the longest free-flowing black water river in North America. Spend a couple of nights at our tent campground and tell stories while roasting marshmallows around a campfire. Cast a line and enjoy fishing in the Edisto River for flathead catfish, red breast, channel catfish, largemouth bass, striped bass, shell crackers, blue catfish, and eels. Absorb the natural and cultural history of the park, from the Limestone River Bluff to its Civilian Conservation Corps beginnings. Visit Riverfront Hall and our rental cabins, some of which are CCC structures. And then walk the River Bluff Trail for a scenic view of the river, or hike the old loop trail and explore the various plants, landscapes, and animal habitats. And then up here it's got some pictures. That one right there is really old, you can tell by that. And that's a shelter, and that shows how you can paddle and relax. And then if you are into being an ultimate outsider, their stamp is right here, and that's how it looks. It shows the Riverfront Hall on it. So this area right here is also a parking area, and if you come out here on the weekend, that thing is completely filled up. So while there may not be anybody here during the week, they definitely utilize this park on the weekend. Okay, so this is cabin number 5 right here, if you choose to stay here. And this is cabin number 2 right here, if you choose to stay in that one. And as you can see, all the cabins have spacious yards, so it's not like you have anybody just looking at you. And then we're coming up on cabin number 3. And then, last but not least at all, is cabin number 4. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the video for Givhans Ferry State Park, and all this information about the place came from SouthCarolinaParks.com. So it says it is located in Ridgeville, South Carolina, a natural retreat in the low country woods. Givhans Ferry sits at the end of the 23-mile-long stretch of the Edisto River paradise that kayakers love, that begins at Colleton State Park. And the Edisto is the longest free-flowing black water river in North America, and glimpses of it can be seen from the bluffs outside the rustic cabins, the back porch of Riverfront Hall, and a few other areas of the park. It is one of the 16 CCC South Carolina State Parks built by the CCC, 35 miles away from downtown Charleston, South Carolina, and that makes it the closest park with overnight facilities to Charleston. So if you want to visit Charleston, South Carolina, this is an excellent park to, you know, visit or whatever you would like to do. And they do have a nice cabin that you can stay in, just in case you hadn't figured out that's one of the cabins yet. Anyway, It has 4 comfy 2-bedroom cabins that were built by the CCC. Has 25 full service campsites for RVs or tent campers. Riverfront Hall is CCC built as well, and it has 10 hike-in campsites for tents and hammocks. And the park itself is 988 acres of low country splendor. And I guess you can probably hear the highway out there too, because the road is like right over there from where the cabins are at. So anyway, getting into the history of the park now. The park was named for Philip Given, the area ferrymaster. And he was the ferrymaster in the late 1700s. Later he became the transportation commissioner, and the name was changed to Givhans Ferry on December 9th, 1789. The ferry was the point where you could cross the Edisto River and connected Augusta to Charleston. Mary Ford's grave is the granddaughter of Philip Given, and it is located on the park. So you did get to see the gravesite earlier. It was really sad. She was only not even 4 months old yet whenever she passed away. And the park's riverbanks are protected as a natural, well, as a heritage trust site. And Givhans Ferry State Park was donated in 1934 by the city of Charleston. So it's really nice that they donated this park because we get to enjoy it today. And as I said earlier, this park has never been on my list, but after staying here, I do appreciate it more than what I did. So if you do get a chance to stay here, I have to highly suggest staying here. And they have everything that you need. And like I said, the rangers have been excellent, and overall I think it's just been a really nice experience. So I also have a cabin video coming out, because I know a lot of people don't know how the cabins look if you don't actually get to see the cabins. So it's kind of important to share the cabins so people can see the cabins. But anyway, as always, I hope you enjoyed the video if you did watch. And if you did watch, thank you so much for watching. And also make sure you check out the cabin video whenever it hits. So have a good day and bye.